Hello everyone, this is Joanna the Medium. Thank you so much for visiting my channel, and for those of you who are regulars, welcome back. I hope you like these messages. I will keep the intro very brief. These are, as you know, your September messages. A lot of it was channeled at the very beginning. Interesting energies, to say the least. I think I've said this before, we're all going through transformations and a lot of it is coming up. There's a lot of educational information I feel in these messages. So even if you're one sign and you're drawn to another sign that you don't relate normally, you might want to listen and see if there is something for you there, because I feel like they kind of sprinkled tips all over the place that could be useful by anyone, regardless of which category they fell into, because these are life situations that Spirit talked about. Also, for additional information as far as longer term messages, I will put those links down for you below. They are on Vimeo. There is the 6-month projection from July until the end of this year, December 2018. Also, the 7-year Uranus videos are also there, and that's a 7-year projection, so it'll give you the big picture of what things will be like over the next several years. But the 6-month is much more potent, because it's only focused on the next 6 months or so. Of course, if you would like a private session with me, that information is down below. Thank you so much once again for liking, sharing, and subscribing. I always say, without you, I wouldn't do this. And what I do is something that I absolutely love. And I remind myself every single day how lucky I am to be able to do this and love what I do, because it isn't often that everybody gets to do that, right? So that just, I'm supposed to say, that just affirms that when you believe in what you do, things eventually happen. I think that message was for somebody. So I think that's all I have. Thank you again. Of course, if you would like to comment, information is comment down below how this applies to you, and listen to your other signs, for one of them may not mean much to you, but always listen to it at the end of the month or next month, because you guys always tell me that at the beginning it makes no sense, and then you come back and you go, oh my God, I can't believe it. So I wish you best of luck. I look forward to seeing you soon. Take care of yourself, and let's get going. Hello, beautiful Pisces. These are going to be your messages for the month of, I almost said November, September 2018. Allow me to tune into your energy, but actually, let me just start off by saying, wow, I don't know what it is that you're going through, but I have some pretty interesting energies. First and foremost, I feel like the next few months are going to move very quickly. For some of you, I feel like you have been on the run for quite some time, except I don't know what you're running from. And when I say this, there's a part of me that wants to say, you've been running from yourself, and you know how that works. You can't make that happen. So one of the things I'm staring at right now is that the month of September, but I feel this is going to continue for you. But in the month of September, because that's what we're talking about, it's you have the card called Come to the Edge. So I'm just going to jump right up. I'm going to jump all over the place here. This is a message that says, face your fears. And this is facing your fears around a brand new future. This is about making a choice, making a decision about something that will allow you to move forward in your life, either in a different direction, or in a different direction. This can be a relationship status, obviously, where you are choosing to an end in a relationship, or you're choosing to step into a relationship. And this could also signify you accepting a contract where you become part of a relationship, but it's not necessarily romantic. So that energy covers a lot, because there is career, but I also feel there is romance here. And I see like you are looking either you're looking at opportunities or you're trying to decide, where do I go? So right away, I hear the word move. You might be thinking of moving. The month of October comes up, or in the month of October, you might be beginning to think of moving somewhere else, either moving away, moving again in a different direction, or just, just moving away. But it is moving away and saying goodbye to something. Now, don't freak out. I'm not saying you're leaving anything or anyone. Well, I am saying that, but the way I want to say it is, from what I see for most of you, it is your choice. And when you are the one making the choice, then things are a little bit easier because, well, you're kind of sort of in control. Doesn't mean it's necessarily easy, but it does mean that you are the one making the choices and making the decisions. So facing your fears is huge. You also have two cards came out. You have Holographic Healing and you have Common Ground. So I'll tell you what this means to me other than what you're picking up from these cards. So the month of September, clearly a month of healing, but I feel like you've been doing that for quite some time. Some of you are healers. Some of you are healers to be. Some of you want to be healers and you don't know how to approach it. The last category, if you want to be a healer, you already have some healing abilities. You're just not recognizing them for what they are. But so for some of you, this is about you being healers. This is about you becoming more active in your own healing, but also active in healing others. So this could be community. This could be something that you decide to do that has a healing component in the way you express your individuality, whether it's cards, whether it's massage therapy, whether it's I don't know, you could be a healer by being a gardener and you talk to people in a way that allows them just to open up. When I say the word healer, I always say don't get bogged down by the label because the label means nothing. Point is, month of September, tremendous healing coming to you. Also, some of you would be wise to take an opportunity or to take someone up on their, I'm going to rephrase. It feels like you might find in the month of September either something or someone that offers you an opportunity to look into healing or to start a healing process. It may just come to you seemingly out of nowhere. There's no such thing. But if that's the case for the very few of you who will know what I'm talking about, take the universe up on its offer. In other words, something is going to be presented to you where it will help you realize some things about you didn't previously know. So as I'm saying it, you're going to have no idea. When it happens, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. So healing, huge emphasis on healing. Common Ground is all about you realizing where you fit in. So this is about you looking at your world and asking yourself questions that make you realize, am I a part of what I want to be? Are me and my spouse on the same ground, on the same common ground? The work that I'm in, are we collectively on a common ground, or do I feel like I no longer belong? So that's going to be for some of you. For others of you, it's solidifying your existing relationships or work situations in a way that make you feel more grounded. So that's a different message. Could also be connected to what I was talking about earlier. But having common ground, being a part of people who are of like vibration, being drawn towards people who are like you. If you are into healing and all of a sudden someone is introduced to you and they're in the healing arts, then you are attracting someone who is on the same level, on the same ground. That's why they're saying take them up on that offer, whatever the offer is for you. Now, you have time to go. Well, we don't know what that's about. That is a message that says you've learned a lesson. The situation you are in has served its purpose. It's time to go. But I feel that you have been feeling this for quite a while. For some of you, it's as far back as last year. But for those of you who have been contemplating, thinking, wondering, agonizing about whether you should stay or you should go, you have the message that says time to go. The number is 4-5, which comes to a 9. So number 9 is all about letting go. 4 is number of foundation. 5 is number of change. So for many of you, your foundation will be changing very soon. And what I mean by this is this. If you are... Okay, foundation is something that is a huge pillar in your life. So it's your belief system, it's your relationship, it's your work, it's your friend, it's your health, it's your friendships. Those are pillars of our foundation. And for some of you, your foundation around a family is changing. Your dynamic around a family situation might be changing. You might be the one deciding to go. For some of you, this is you arriving at a conclusion that the type of work that you do and who you are right now is no longer on the same page, and you are choosing to make a change towards that foundation, and work is our foundation. It gives us sustenance. So that's what I see for some of you. I'm getting an itchy nose. If you are getting ringing in the ears, particularly as I'm speaking to you right now, know that this is sign from guides or whatever you want to call it. These are symbolic ways of spirit communicating to you, if you believe in that. But it's important to pay attention because I'm hearing ringing in my ears. So those are signs that apparently you've been asking for. You also have the Yin card, and this is the masculine energy. So this is about no longer just being passive and thinking. This is about actually putting things in action. So month of September might be a preparatory time for you to start a brand new journey. Again, I'm being pushed to the month of October. So for some of you, this is going to be around October. You also have building blocks, which is all about, again, strengthening your foundation. So tons of new beginnings, but you do have face your fears, right? You also have, to be fair, I tell you, a lot of cards came up. This is all about looking at things from a much more neutral perspective. If you are in a situation, and if there's changes, it is important that you look you look at that situation from a more neutral perspective. Number one, it will allow you to leave that situation in a way that doesn't compromise your future. And that, I don't know what that would mean. I mean, if your employer is not happy about you leaving, and you know they're not making things very easy, you're best to approach this from the neutral situation rather than being angry and lashing out at them, because that employer potentially may help you gain something down the road that you may not have thought about yet. So it's the proverbial saying, don't burn the bridges. For those of you who are thinking of leaving some other situation, it's important to leave your situation on a common ground. And what does that mean? It means looking and being able to handle the situation without anger or resentment as much as it is possible, so that you can still be amicable with each other, whoever the other person is. Particularly for those of you who have children. If you are moving on and there is children involved, young or older, it's important to have an amicable relationship because, well, let's face it, you will always be a part of each other's lives. And if you choose to have an amicable relationship, then things always go smoother. And yes, I'm hearing some of you already saying, but the other person is an a-hole. I agree. You can't change the other person, and you can choose not to be one. And chances are when that happens, you're not giving the person a reason to fight. So automatically the person's defenses go down. So that's one of the things that's being shown to me as well. Fairness and looking at things from a much more balanced perspective. Also, you have the card to the sea in a protection position. So this is a little bit contradictory because this card symbolizes that the tide is not in your favor, but this card says it's time to go. So I felt this, and what this is saying to me is that, yes, you are in fact on a way out. You are needing to be on a way out, and you can see here, there's another door that's being opened to you. So this is suggesting very strongly that you are moving on to a brand new opportunity. And you are moving away from something you are already in. However, this may not happen in the month of September, and that's why this is being shown that the tide is not in your favor. In other words, if you feel this is the case, if you know this is the case, do whatever is necessary as far as the background, because the actual physical manifestation of the end is going to come a little bit later. Yes, for some of you, this is you leaving in September, but I don't feel that. I still feel you're anchored in some way. I just feel a lot of this is realizing that it's time to go, realizing that it's time to move on, and not necessarily ending it right in September, but starting the process of allowing that to happen. And a lot of the time, one of the most important things that we can do in order to shift our momentum is to acknowledge the time has come. And oftentimes, particularly when it comes to big decisions, it's hard to acknowledge because it also implies changes need to happen. And we are humans that thrive on stability, so change isn't always welcome, particularly when it's the pillars of our life: the work, which is money; relationships, which is stability, safety, and love; and health, which is everything. So it's not always easy to acknowledge when something big is coming to an end. But when we allow ourselves to acknowledge that, and we allow ourselves to say, okay, I admit it, it's time, then you give the universe the permission, so to speak, to show you the way, and it'll be shown to you. I mean, you've got healing coming up in September, so there's definitely things that you will that you will see in the month of September that will help you face whatever it is that you are facing. My apologies. So that's what I get with the card to the sea in reverse. Take your time in the month of September. Doesn't mean you have to jump on it, but there is a realization that the time has come to move on from a certain situation. You have two more cards. 2, 3. You have 3 of Cups in reverse, and you have 8 of Wands. So a couple of things that I see here. Obviously, the 3 of Cups in reverse suggests that there is some disappointment in a relationship. So you may have been disappointed, or there is a disappointment. And because it's shown to me around 8 of Wands, I feel that this is to do more with work than anything else. It can also suggest that your relationship has been going downhill with somebody who is very important to you, or in a work situation. And that's perhaps the realization that it's time to move on. You do have 3 of Swords, but this is shown to me in a past position, or at least that's how I perceive it. So I feel that the disappointment has happened, and you are now beginning to come to terms with it. And as a result, you are being offered healing. And as a result of healing, a brand new manifestation will occur to you in a near future. Again, I'm being pulled to early next year, and I hear the word move. Perhaps you will be moving in the new year, and that will be the physical manifestation of what you are experiencing right now. But once again, this is not disappointment that will happen. This is more likely than not something that already has occurred, that you are working through right now, will be getting healing through, and ultimately moving in a brand new direction. Now, I want to also say that this doesn't necessarily mean you are leaving a relationship, for example. This could mean that you are now in the process of healing your old wounds, and therefore your relationship begins on a brand new footing, which would be more on a common ground. That can absolutely happen. The moment you start changing, the moment your vibration shifts, and the moment your vibration shifts, your entire situation around you is going to change accordingly. So there are beautiful things. There's always beautiful things that can happen from change, but it doesn't necessarily mean that things are ending in a bad way. I do want to stress this. You also have the card New Life. So I don't know how many ways I've said this. You have new beginnings. There is just no way around it. You are ready. You are ready to shine. You are ready to be free. You are ready to be free from clutter in your mind, which will absolutely affect everything you do. You are ready to be full. And when I say full, actually, what do I mean when I say full? Full of love for yourself, full of love towards yourself. And I used to cringe at the analogy of self-love. That's because I never had it. I don't cringe as much now, but when I do say self-love, I know some of you may kind of roll your eyes. Self-love is nothing more or nothing less than you having the ability to nurture yourself in a way that makes you feel good about you from ground up. In other words, you don't depend on something or somebody else to make you feel important. You have that within you. And when you have a solid foundation that is built on the basis of you being amazing and feeling amazing about you, and I'm not talking about someone who needs to prove it, because that's not solid foundation. Just knowing truly who you are, that you are the magnificent person, a creator who creates every single moment without even knowing it. When you fundamentally begin to feel that way, the whole world opens up to you, because that's feeling of abundance. That's feeling of abundance, love, everything can possibly imagine. And before I get off on that or move on for too long, I feel I am going to end with this. They're also showing me a broken heart being clicked back in place, which is, to me, emotional healing. So many of you will be going through a lot of healing processes over the next few months. Some of you have already been going through it for quite some time. I hope this is making sense. I don't know what the things are in your life. I just see it energetically, but I trust it's going to make sense to you if it's supposed to. So if it doesn't make sense at the beginning of the month, I invite you to listen to it at the end of the month, and maybe a little bit towards October. But I do wish you best of luck. Take care of yourself. For private session, that information, of course, is down below. And do mention on a comment how this affects you or how this is manifesting in your life. And always remember, you are someone of incredible importance. And I need to say that to you. Okay? So good luck, and I will see you soon. Take care. Bye.